Here is Lesson 1. General steps of conducting a research. Firstly, I want to explain why we start with introducing the general steps of conducting a research. This is because survey design and data analysis are just two parts of the entire research. And understanding the whole procedure of conducting research can give us a more clear picture of how to apply survey methods. That is, I want to give you a whole picture about how the research looks like, and then you can better understand where the positions of survey design and data analysis are. And this is the purpose of our first lesson. Then what is research? Generally speaking, research is a process of steps used to collect and analyze information to increase our understanding of a topic or issue. And there are three key steps involved in this procedure. First, you need to pose a research question. And second, you need to collect data to answer that question. And the third step is to present the answers to your research questions. And this is a general procedure of how we conduct research. It sounds not so difficult, right? And more specifically or formally, a research involves these 6 steps. First, you need to identify a research question or a research problem. And secondly, you need to review the literatures and develop hypotheses. Thirdly, you need to choose the proper methods and collect the research data. Then, you need to analyze the data and interpret the results. And next, you need to discuss about your findings, how these findings respond to your research question. And finally, you need to conclude your research. And I will go through each step in next few slides. First of all, you need to identify a research question. This is very important. It will determine whether your research can get some meaningful results or not, and whether your research can be successful or not. And the research question can be derived from your research interests. Anyway, a research project can last 6 months for undergraduates, and probably 3 to 5 years for PhD students. So you must have some interest in it. And it should be based on the literatures and past studies. Because the purpose of the research is to contribute the knowledge of a specific topic. So you need to know what has been done and how you will contribute to the body of the knowledge. And it's very important for you to talk with your supervisors, because your supervisors are supposed to give you instructions and guide you during this research procedure. And also, you need to consider the feasibility of your topic. That is, whether you can get the data to support your research question and ideas. I will talk about it more in next lesson. After you found the research topic and the research question, you need to review the literatures and past studies, because this will help you to identify the research gaps and to further formulate and revise your research questions. And it will also help you to identify the relevant concepts and theories in order to develop your own hypotheses and build up your own research model. By reviewing the literatures, you can also learn the methods used in past studies and apply these methods in your own study. In addition, you can also learn the writing styles in this research field if you want to submit your research report to a journal. And I will introduce these issues more in next few lessons. And the third section is about methodology. It includes the design of how to conduct the research, how you design the questionnaire and the instruments to collect the data, and how you measure the factors or the variables in your model, how you get the samples and how you collect the data from the samples. And I will teach you how to design these parts in a survey. And after you collect the data, you need to analyze the data. There are two types of data analysis methods, including qualitative and quantitative analysis. And for this lesson, we will focus on the quantitative analysis method specifically. For example, in this lesson, we will introduce simple linear regression method, multilinear regression methods, and structural equation modeling methods. And I will show you how to apply these methods in SPSS and AMOS. And after you get the results of your data analysis, you need to show people what has been found, what is confirmed and what is not, and explain why. This is regarded as a response to a research question. And you also need to explain the findings for the new insights. And finally, you need to conclude your research. For example, you need to write a brief summary about your research and what the implications of your findings are, or any suggestions for practice. Of course, no research is perfect, so you need to admit the limitations of your research, and finally point out the future directions for studies. So these are the general steps of conducting research, and let me briefly summarize them. First, you need to have a research question about your research topic. And secondly, you need to review the past studies or the literatures concerned with your research. And thirdly, you need to design your own survey and relevant research methods. And then you need to analyze the data and get the results. And finally, you have your conclusion about your study. As a response to your research questions. And in this lesson, I will briefly introduce how to review the literatures and develop your own hypotheses. But I will mainly focus on how to design the survey and analyze the data. And these two sections are the main focus points of our lesson. That's all for lesson 1. Thanks for listening.